All right. We are here tonight with Borombo. He's only 22 years old. He's a developer working at an agency, a student, and an entrepreneur. So it's a great pleasure to have you here tonight, Borombo.
Thank you.
I would like to ask you, how do you become a mobile developer?
I think the first thing for becoming a mobile developer is to have interest in programming and to start by learning algorithm, because a lot of people start by just learning one language, so maybe Java, Python, or HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but don't learn the basics. So first algorithm, and then go to a development language. So I think you should first focus on algorithm, and then you can go to a development language and choose which one you prefer.
So in that way, you're going to have a greater foundation, a more solid foundation.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and do I need any web knowledge in order to be a mobile developer, or?
I think actually you don't really need to have a web knowledge to be a mobile developer, but it's better if you know how it works, because most of the application that you will have to make will have to communicate with a server, with a web server. So you have to know how works the server, how works the web in general. But you don't need to have knowledge in web development or front-end development or something like that.
And what about design? Do I need to know how to design things? Do I need any knowledge on design, or do I just go with what I think is better, or should I think more in a functional way? How do you go about it?
I think at the beginning you should not think about the design. You should just focus on your skills, about your development skills. For the design, it's like the web. You don't need to have special skills in design, but you have to understand all the rules of the platform that you develop for. So for example, for Android, that's a material and flat design. You have to understand that. And you have also to understand the rules for iOS, but you don't need to make your design yourself. It's better if you can understand and make the design, but it's not necessary.
Do you think more about the functionality, about what you want to achieve with the app, or do you have in mind the design at the same time?
It depends on the project. Myself, actually at the beginning, I think about the features that I want to make in my app, and then I go to the design. I think about how it will be usable for the user with this feature, with this screen. And then I think mainly about the design, the UI and the UX of my application. And when I have finished with the design, I am sure I want to go with this, I will start to develop the feature of the application.
Great. All right. So let's do one last question. Let's say that you have your app, you have developed it, you have put a lot of effort, it's a great app. How do you go about when you want to sell it? How do you sell it?
So there is different path to sell your application. So let's say like me, I am a developer, I develop my own app and I want to sell it. The first part is to put them on the store, on the official store, so on the Google Play and the App Store, because that's where you will have the more visibility, because everyone uses the store to download their application. So the first thing is to put your application on the store, and then you will have to market your application. So you have to talk about it to your friends, to your family, on social media. If you can even pay for some article on some newspaper or on some website or things like that. But yeah, you have to market your application to be able to have more people to use it and more downloads and more rates, etc.
Okay, well, that's great. Is there anything else that you would like to say to your audience or to the people in general, the app developers?
I think people think a lot about app development, asking a lot of questions about how become a developer, how to make an Android application. but they should not worry too much about the final project, because I have noticed that people already come with an application in mind and say, okay, I want to make this application, how I do it. I think you should start with, as I said before, with the basics. So learn algorithms, learn how to develop first. Let's go check some design ID to know how you will make your application before thinking about the end project of your application, to sell it, to make money. Just start with the basics.
All right. Okay, that's great. Borombo, it was a pleasure to have you here, and pleasure to meet you. And I hope I meet you in person at one point as well.
Yeah, no problem. Sure.
All the best, man. Thank you.
Thanks.